Cold open on a chilling scene, an office, normal in every way save for one detail. A man, unconscious, slumped over a desk. Papers fluttering to the ground around him, the eerie glow of a computer screen illuminating the scene. This was no accident. This was the handiwork of our protagonist, John. A 50-year-old man who up until this point had been nothing more than a failure in the eyes of society. But tonight, something changed. Something that would set him on a path of white-collar crimes and a life on the run. John was no stranger to disappointment. From a young age, he'd been told he was never quite good enough. He'd grown accustomed to the taste of failure, the bitter sting of rejection. But this was different. This was an act of defiance, a declaration of war against a world that had turned its back on him. After a string of financial crimes, John's face was plastered all over the news. Every law enforcement agency was on his tail. But John was smarter than they gave him credit for. He disappeared, assumed a new identity, and slipped into the role of a mild-mannered high school teacher in a small town. He built a new life, a new family. But old habits die hard. Enter Amelia, 19, vibrant, full of life. She was the polar opposite of John, yet he was drawn to her like a moth to a flame. Their affair was passionate, intense, and ultimately destructive. A child was born of their forbidden love, an innocent soul caught in the crossfire of John's tumultuous life. John had always been a man of action, so when Amelia threatened to expose their affair, to uproot the life he had so meticulously built, he did what he thought he had to do. He kidnapped his own child, disappeared into the night, leaving Amelia heartbroken and his new life in shambles. Now on the run with his child, John is at a crossroads, his past a trail of crimes and broken hearts, his future uncertain. As he looks into the innocent eyes of his child, he can't help but wonder, is this the life he wants for them? Could he really subject his child to a life of crime just like his own? As he contemplates his next move, the sirens wail in the distance, growing louder with each passing second. The law is closing in, but John is a man of many faces, of many lives. He's escaped before and he could do it again. But the question remains, will he run or will he stay and fight for a chance at redemption? As the screen fades to black, we're left with the haunting image of John, a man on the edge, his fate hanging in the balance, his next move unknown. Stay tuned, because this story is far from over.